Broke the American record 19 years to the day in the flat 400, breaking Sonia Richards-Ross record, and then came back in the final, won the world title, and ran the second fastest 400-meter time in history.
Like the men in Paris last summer, the women were just off of the world record. The conditions probably not ideal for a world record tonight, but when you have that woman on your team, all things are possible. Paul, when she was a 49 quarter miler, she'd run 47 splits. Is it out the realm of possibilities that we can see a 46 split from Sydney tonight?
Well, she's being pushed by the likes of the Netherlands, where behind that pole is Femke Bol, the world champion in the 400-meter hurdles again this year, since Sydney was running the open 400. So those two teams figure to be battling through these conditions. The rain has lightened up just a bit, but you can see the standing water on the inside. It's actually a little bit better on the outside because it's a little closer to the overhang above the stands. But here is Team Netherlands in 9, anchored by Femke Bol.
The defending champs, the United States, got disqualified at the last World Championships, and the Netherlands were only too happy to pass countries up the home straightaway and win.
Belgium is in lane 8. Helena Panet will be their anchor leg. Van der Broek will be on the opening leg with the baton. And then next to them in 7 is Norway.
Welcome to the World Championship Finals, Norway. This is the first time they've been in a 4x4 final, Worlds or Olympics on the women's side.
And next to them, Jamaica in 6.
Another team that you just simply can't count out. Medals at 4 of the last 5 Worlds, including that world title in 2015. That's one of only 2 times that the United States has lost in the last 9 Worlds.
Bella Whitaker, Lena Irby-Jackson, Leah Butler, and Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
The United States will start out of lane 5 as the favorites in this world title event.
Always competitive in the 4x4 is Poland.
And they run well in this stadium. They were silver medal position in Tokyo at the 2020 Olympic Games 4 years ago.
The Italians clicking their way to a spot in the final in 3.
Still looking for their first medal, Olympics or Worlds, in this event. They were 4th in their heat.
And on the inside in lane 2 is France.
They have made the last 2 World Championship finals, but they have a bronze as their only medal, and that's back from 2013. So Whitaker will lead off for the United States. Lena Irby-Jackson, then to Aaliyah Butler, and the biggest ace, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
Team USA actually has 2 American record holders in this race because Bella Whitaker broke the American indoor record at the NCAA Indoor Championships this year for Arkansas. Femke Bol taking a big sigh and awaiting the baton as the anchor leg for the Netherlands. The women's 4x400-meter relay from Tokyo, Japan is underway. The United States is in 5. Netherlands will have to race without knowing where everybody else is for this first lap, as Evelyn Solberg has the baton for them.
And Oakley for Jamaica has run a good first half of the race, catching Eriksson of Norway. But Bella Whitaker hanging tough for the United States in lane 5.
Women are in a stagger, so they have to reach their teammate here, and then we'll get a gauge of who has the lead. Jamaica looks like they're right there with the United States. The U.S. is going to get it first, then Jamaica, then the Netherlands, then Belgium.
So Lena Irby-Jackson is going to be entrusted to sprint around this first 100, close the door on the inside, and let anybody who wants to pass her pass on the outside. She's done a good job of that. Jamaica has Stacey Ann Williams giving chase. And now here comes the Netherlands.
Whitaker had a first leg for the United States of 50.2. That is Klaver of the Netherlands trying to reel in the Jamaicans, but right now the U.S. has a nice advantage as they'll come to the halfway point with Irby Jackson making her way to the exchange zone to find Aaliyah Butler.
We figured this would be more of a race. The U.S. women are having none of it in this rain in Tokyo.
It is the U.S., Jamaica, the Netherlands, and Belgium, 48-7 for Irby Jackson.
And that's why the United States has the lead it does right now. So Jamaica in second now with Anjanette Knight. She's a 400-meter hurdler, but they're not really making that much of an impression on the U.S.'s Aaliyah Butler.
Half lap to run for Butler. Has the comfort of knowing that she's handing off to the American record holder in the second fastest of all time at 400 meters, but wants to give her as big a cushion as possible over the Jamaicans and Netherlands that has Femke Bol on the anchor. As Butler to McLaughlin-Lerone.
Well, get the watches out, because the only thing left to decide is how fast is the new American record holder going to cover one lap of this track. This race is effectively over.
Butler running 49.9 on her third leg. Nakisha Price with the baton for Jamaica. And Femke Bol probably now thinking about silver, because they're not catching Sydney McLaughlin-Lerone as she'll come off the final turn. Sydney McLaughlin-Lerone wins a world title individually and gives Team USA the win in 3:16.62.
Championship record. What's Sydney's split? Well, she only needed to go 47.8, but you just saw one of the fastest mile relays ever, despite the conditions. The United States women, this was probably supposed to be a little closer, but after that brilliant second leg by Lena Irby Jackson in the 48s, it blew open the race and nobody had a response.
That is the fifth fastest 4x400 meter relay ever won, and with that win, the U.S. has now won 14 world titles here at these championships, tying them for the most ever here at Worlds.
That was impressive. The fan in me would have liked to see Sydney versus Femke, but she had such a great supporting cast that the Netherlands was barely in the frame by the time she got the baton, and you knew that the new world champion, American record holder, was not giving any of that lead back. She only ran, I said only, not a lot of women in history have ever run under 48 for a lap of the track. She only ran 48.7, but that's all she needed. 47.8.
Jamaica gets the silver, Netherlands finishing with the bronze.
So Sydney's work is done here.